Well, good evening, everybody. I am Dean the Turkey Lakester. Welcome to the stream, to the show, to the chat tonight. This is a Summer of Friends, a special series that I'm doing here on Let's Talk Turkey. Normally, it is Let's Talk Turkey on Tuesdays, but during the summer, it's a summer of friends, and I am so glad that you all are here, and I'm so glad to have a special guest, as with all of my guests are so special. I have the one and only amazing Debbie Bernfeld, known affectionately around the community as Mama D. So, Debbie, welcome in. Great to have you
Thank you
tonight.
very much. Thanks very much for having me.
Wonderful. Great to have you. Um, if you were at the channel last week, I had announced that tonight would not be Debbie. It was someone else. It was Tina Marie, just to be specific. Tina Marie had a scheduling conflict, and Tina will be on Saturday night. I have so come on Saturday night. I think we're going to be on at 8 o'clock. It's scheduled what it's going to be. So um, I hope you come back on Saturday and join for, of course, Tina Marie. And speaking of chatting with people, let me just say hello really quickly to everyone in the chat. Jonathan Chong, welcome in. Hello, Jonathan. Happy Tuesday. This guy's here, Dean the Turkey Legster. Who let him in? Uh, Vicky Gillespie, welcome in. Welcome in. Great to have you here. Debbie's right there in the chat and on the screen. Hello, Debbie. Amanda P., welcome in. Hello. Happy Tuesday. The Curtis family, hello. Happy Tuesday. Welcome in, Chris. Julie McCowan, welcome in. Hello. Happy Tuesday. Julie, I am enjoying this series as much as, if not more than you. I promise. Zippity Doo Doug, hello. Welcome in, Doug. Okay, Jason Thibodeau, welcome in. Great to have you here. Happy Tuesday, Jason. And Gloria, hello. Welcome in, Gloria Thibodeau. Great to have everyone here in the Thibodeau persuasion. I mean, name. Let's see here. Everyone's saying hello. Beth Sunflower, welcome in. And then who else? Who else? Epcot Forever. Hi, Jordan. Welcome
Good
in.
morning.
Great to see you in tonight. And I think that might be everybody.
Yep. Hello, everybody.
Awesome. Awesome. So, Debbie, how's your day been?
It's been okay. It's been very hot here. I'm still working on not having my air conditioning. Uh,
Really?
yeah, my air conditioner went kaput uh some
Oh
time
my,
ago,
in the middle of summer?
and yep, it's so I need to get a brand new unit.
Ouch.
Yes.
Okay. So, prayers for Debbie. Sending cool thoughts. And you're in Florida, right? You're in like South Florida.
I'm in South Florida. Yes.
Okay. Although I keep seeing posts everywhere that like it's hot everywhere. So, um, all right. Well, I hope that gets fixed or can get fixed soon. So anyway, we're chatting with Debbie tonight, and Debbie, I don't just in case someone watches this stream and they don't know you, would you mind maybe doing a quick little introduction uh, for you?
Yeah.
I know you don't actually have a channel, but you are talk about, how you found the community and
Yeah,
It's kind of an introduction, kind of a who
yeah,
are you?
yeah. Well, I'm originally from New York. You know, I've been living in Florida longer than I have lived in New York.
Okay.
But I grew up in New York, and then I moved down here in '85, and I've been here down here ever since. Pretty much in a similar area. Um, and the way I found the community is in the end of 1919, 2019,
1919. Wow. That's okay. 2019.
2019, in all of 2020, I had cancer, and so I needed some release, something to keep me going. And I knew I always liked Disney, so I was just searching for you know YouTube channels to watch, and I came across my first one was Yes, Jonathan, 1919. My first YouTuber was Mouse Talk,
Okay.
Walter Melissa. And from there, it spiraled into everyone else. I heard him talking about, I think he was doing some sort of charity event for Pete, the Pete May Devitt. And then it kind of spiraled from there. Got to know Pete and got to do Jeff, Jeff and Angela from Dis Our Dreams, and then everybody else, the Dis and That group, so that's pretty much how I found. I didn't chat much in 2020. I didn't start chatting really until 2021. I didn't feel comfortable in 2020 to chat.
Yeah.
So I just basically just listened and just been like not a ninja, but that's pretty much how I found the community. I always loved Disney. You know um Ever since I was a kid, my mom introduced me to Disney when I was very little. I watched the Mouseketeers. I think it was on Saturday night or Saturday something. And I don't know about a Disney YouTube legend, but um, um, uh, so yeah, so she introduced me to Disney. So I always loved Disney. And then when I saw those, YouTubers live streaming from the parks, because I haven't been into the parks like for like a really long time. It was like probably the early 2000s or something like that. I mean, it was like many years that I've been to the parks, and I think it was like 20 years or so, something like that, that I've been to the parks, and
Wow.
and that was it. And I just, I love this community. This community is, I've been involved with some other communities, but somehow the Disney community is really, really special. Other communities, they care about each other, but something about the
Hmm.
Disney community is like they really are family. They
Yes.
don't. There's no bickering between channels. It's just just pure love, and just want everybody to be successful, and want everyone to be enjoying their time, and making people happy. And that's what this community is all about. It's just coming together and being as one. One team. One team, one family, one. We're all together.
Yeah. It's almost like each channel is not like a YouTube channel. It's almost like when a channel goes live, it's almost like having a gathering at someone's
Right.
house. Everyone comes in and they're chit-chatting. Speaking of people coming in, let me scroll
Surf
up.
John Surf Sherry Surf Girl, Surfer
I
Girl.
saw, trying to find, oh, here we go. Movie Mania Nick came in here a few minutes ago. Hi, Nick. Welcome
Hi, Nick.
in. Yes, I saw, and then we'll come down here. Surfer Girl, Cherie.
Surfer
I chatted with
Girl.
Cherie last week.
Yep.
And that was a fun chat. And then, of course, Surf Bomb, John, welcome in. Welcome, welcome in, everybody. Yeah, the community is really something. And
Right.
I found I started finding channels in 2019 as far as the live streaming, and I started with Resort TV One, and then
Right,
I
right,
slowly started finding channels,
right,
and I started. I guess I started chatting, but it was more a matter of slowly finding the channels at
right,
first. Then, of
right,
course, during 2020, a lot of the channels that are around actually started, or people started doing things.
right,
You know, um, I started doing like Instagram lives during, I think that would have started 2020, a regular Instagram live, and before I decided to come over to YouTube. Um, But yeah, that's a lot of fun. But yeah, the community is wonderful. You know, everyone in the chat here that I see, Mark Langenkamp,
yeah,
hello.
Mark,
I see
thank
Mark
you.
Langenkamp,
You know,
R.
John,
Johns, Richard,
yeah,
hello. Did I miss anybody?
yeah, Tina McNeil, Tina,
Tina McNeil, hello. Tina and Chuck, hello. Chuck, you'll be watching later, I think. And so hello, Tina and Chuck as well.
yeah,
So it had been, I remember it had been, um, you said about 20 years, I think. It was, I think a couple of years ago. Um, and I've talked about this, I think, on the stream a little bit, but um, I had the opportunity of kind of escorting you through Hollywood studios a couple of years ago, and I was live for this.
that was the first time in 20 years that I was in the parks, and I never been to Hollywood Studios, so that was a first.
Yeah, so Debbie was there to meet up with, was it Pete McDevitt?
Mm-hmm.
Pete, she had a lunch. She was there for, I mean, she'd never been to Hollywood Studios, so I was live, and I'm like, okay, I can get you there. I know where that is. Back in the Mama Melrose, I think it was, and back in the
Yeah,
Muppets section. So a good chunk of that live stream was getting Debbie back to lunch, her lunch
yeah, and
reservation.
I actually missed it. They actually finished their lunch. So
Oh,
Baker,
really?
so Chris, the baker, he took me to the pizza place next to it, so
Oh, okay.
I got something to eat. Because
Oh,
it took me
wow.
time, but I got to the Hollywood Studios. I landed, got my luggage at the hotel, got to Hollywood Studios, saw you. Yeah, it was
Oh, wow. Well,
comedy.
I'm glad you got lunch. I'm glad you got lunch. Stitch Hawaiian, welcome
Right,
in. Let me go up. Let me see who I'm. Stitch Hawaiian. I see who else. Sunlit Shelby, welcome in. Happy Tuesday to both of you there. Yeah, so how much after that, after I got you back there, what else did you see in Hollywood Studios that day?
uh, I view it as like walking. I know we did a lot of walking, and I didn't realize how much walking there
Mm-hmm.
was, and I wasn't not used to it. So I think after like 5 hours of constant walking. I don't know where we were walking. We were just I can't remember we were walking. I got to the point where I just couldn't move my legs anymore. Literally,
Yep,
my
I
legs
know
just like
that.
just
I know. Yeah.
stopped right in the middle of the road. I could not move. So Baker got me a wheelchair.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
Got me a
Yeah.
wheelchair. So and then wheeled me the rest of the night. And I think after Hollywood Studios, I think we went to um where did we go? Was it Disney Springs?
Disney Springs. Okay.
I think it was Disney Springs. I'm not too sure. I don't remember. Yeah, I think it was Disney Springs where we had was it Earl of
Earl of
um,
Sandwich.
Earl Sandwich,
Okay.
and the amazing Disney group, Disney family, surprised me because it was Hanukkah, and it was my first time away from from Hanukkah, and I don't really have any family here, so it's just me by myself here. So they surprised me with a whole bunch of nice gifts for Hanukkah,
Oh
and
wow.
and I think Pete live streamed it, and that was like I was crying. I got to the point where I had to I was reading something about it, and I couldn't even continue reading because I was crying so hard, and so Pete had to take over and read for me, and but that was like my introduction, not introduction, but that was when I knew that Disney was my family. It was my true family, you know. And I was like shocked. I had no idea that they were planning. A whole bunch of friends were planning this for a while, and I didn't know it, and they kept it a secret from me, and it was an absolutely amazing. I was so honored, you know, that they thought of me, that they could do that.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's really cool.
yeah,
Um, so that year I didn't now you I'm
I
trying to
think that
think.
was my first year doing the Night of Hope.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. That was your first year, Magical Night of Hope, and then I did it
Right.
last year, my
Yes.
first time, or this past year. Well, yeah, that was last year. Okay. Um, Magical Night of Hope. And
I
what
was
was your impressions of that?
Oh my God. I was, when I knew it was good because watching it, previous years or previous year,
Right.
whatever, when it was on, and watching it and just seeing all the amazing music, all the amazing, you know, storytelling, whatever, they did. And then just seeing everyone so happy being there and enjoying each other. And I was there, I was experiencing it. And it's like, I want this. I want to do this again. I did it. I
Yeah.
did it last year. I'm hoping that I could do it this year. I'm praying that I could get the funds for it to do it this year again, because it's not just the charity. It's just gathering of friends. That's what I feel. It's like gathering of friends and family, gathering
Yeah.
together and just enjoying each other's company. You know, I don't have to do all the rides. I'm not much of the roller coaster. I can't really do much of the rides anymore. Maybe the baby rides I can. I can't do the big rides anymore. Um, but yeah, it was just it's just enjoying everyone's company there. I think that's what
Yeah.
I think everyone keeps focusing on what rides they have, what rides are taken away. I mean, yes, people love rides, and people, that's part of the amusement parks, and that's what it's all about. But part of it's what it's all
Hmm.
about. But I think it's really just being in magical land and just enjoying people, enjoying your space, your surroundings. It's not just about going to the or going on the rides or going to the different restaurants. It's everything. It's everything inclusive. You know, I think that's what Disney should be mainly part, not where you're focusing on rides and all that stuff.
Yeah. And that's it. That's what I felt when I went last year for the first time. I was being there in person for the program, and I had, like you, I had watched, you know, every year,
Right,
um, on the live stream and I was there to see the program, but then there was all these people, and then I wasn't sure, is that someone from, that I knew, and I'm, or is that someone, from, give kids that I haven't met, so I'm trying to figure out, and then I
right.
met so many people in person, and it's it was just that was just really it was just really an amazing experience. There was a question, let me see. Julie McCowan asked, Debbie, are you going back to Disney in the near future? And you might have touched on that a
Yeah,
little
I
bit.
just I'm hoping to go this year. I mean, I went last year and it was wonderful, but there are some challenges for me for doing that. I mean, I'm hoping to see if I can roommate with someone because
Hmm.
when I did it by myself, and it's fine, and I always stay in hotels by myself. But if I have to continue using a scooter, it's very difficult for me to. If I stay on property, those doors are very heavy, and trying to manipulate the scooter to get into the room is a little difficult, a little challenging. So I
Yeah,
always have to have someone with me to open the door for me, going in, coming out, and all that, and also, getting on the buses and all that stuff to get to and from the parks. Um, but yeah, if I would go this year, I'm seeing if I could go with people where I'm not by myself because I don't. I feel I'm going to get lost, and you had to show me because
right.
as much as I've seen it on live streams, I still don't know my way around,
Yeah,
and I get a bad sense of direction. If you turn me around, I'll get totally confused and I'll get lost. And so I need someone with me to sort of help me guide through the way. So I'm working on that, you know, for this year.
yeah. The whole it's easy to
I
get
need to go with.
first of all, Captain Mickey Mouse, welcome in. Hello. It says,
Hello.
please tell Debbie Bernfeld I said hello, my dears.
Hi,
Welcome
honey.
in, Captain Mickey Mouse. But yeah, it's very easy to, all the streamers, they might do like the same rides,
Right.
within their streams, but they might go a different order in the parks and they might, go off to the side. They might
And
turn
that's what makes
around and go
right.
back. They
And
might
that's what
go and
makes yeah, right. That's what makes the each YouTuber different. Because they may do things, they may have their own views on it, or they may some rides they like when another YouTuber doesn't like that ride and they love that ride. And so you get really a feel of everybody's feel, of what Disney is all about. Like
yeah,
Linda and Melissa. They're I love their banter. It's funny.
yes,
And Jeff and Angela, their banter is like totally different than Walt and Melissa, but it's funny. So you're not just watching for their go through the parks, but you're watching them, you're enjoying them. So that's why each YouTuber is so different, but yet they still show you the same things from one stream to another stream, but it's just different ways that they show it.
yeah, and that's, first of all, Captain Mickey Mouse, I am not hearing an echo. I'm not sure what you're hearing.
Am I
Um,
echoing?
I'm not hearing an echo. Tina says she's not hearing an echo. So, anyway, yeah, I don't know what that is about.
I no, no, Tina, you're not losing your hearing. Poor Tina.
Um, but yeah, and then, when I stream the parks, I don't even do rides. I just kind of
Right,
walk around and,
right,
that's relaxing, but that probably wouldn't help, someone who doesn't know the parks at all.
right,
Um,
right, right,
but yeah, yeah, it does take, you know, you yeah, you would kind of need a tour guide for the parks.
right,
But coming in from out of town, and I live an hour away, so I'm fortunate. I'm blessed that I can just go there
right,
for the day and then go home. I don't have to consider accommodations, and I'm able to walk, enough. I don't have to consider, the scooter thing and that kind of side. So it's that's the other thing that's great about this YouTube community is that when you can't get there, if you can't get there, even I as a local, it's good to, kind of see the parks and see some different things. And if
right,
there's a new show or a new ride or something, you can see that through YouTube, while you aren't able to get there.
right, right, exactly.
Jane in Travels, welcome in. John and
Right.
Nancy,
Hi,
welcome
John and
in.
Nancy.
And Kelsey
Hi,
Elizabeth,
Kelsey.
welcome in.
Hello,
Kelsey,
Kelsey.
hello, welcome in. Great to have you. Um, um,
Yeah, I'm like three and a half to 4 hours away from Disney.
yeah, Jonathan says, I don't even watch some of the streams for Disney, it's for the community interaction. And I
Right,
think that
right,
as a streamer, um, when I stream, that's the best part. And I know a lot of the streamers. Doug's in here. Doug, I
right,
think Doug will attest to this. As a streamer, if you don't have the live chat working,
right,
it's pretty much there's no sense in streaming. It's really not fun, and I always greet people on the people on the replay, but
right,
for me, sometimes the replay isn't as fun because it's not live. Speaking of which, if you are on the replay, pop the like button. That's for everybody, and leave me a comment down below. Let me know that you watched. If you did watch the replay, they see that I did that on purpose.
right, right.
Um,
Exactly, Jordan. It's the interaction with your people there in the
exactly,
chat.
Jordan. Yeah.
Right. It's in the interaction with the people in the chat, and it's also fun watching the streamers' interaction to other people in the parks, to
Hmm.
the guests. The people that run the parks. You know, their interaction with them. It's not just going on rides and going to the shops, and yes, it's about that too, but it's not just about going to the parks and doing the rides and doing the shops and eating. It's all inclusive, but it's also just about being there and interacting with people.
Yeah, the people, you might run into other guests, they
Right,
might see you streaming and you hear the streamers, whatever, sharing about their channel. You might get into talking with a cast member.
right,
Um, the other thing too, outside of people, is I try to look at sometimes the little details around the park, like, Easter eggs or,
right,
the architecture, like walking through Adventureland, I might
right,
stop and look up at a building or in one of the pavilions in Epcot, and
right,
where a lot of the streamers, they're just going to walk through and walk by because they're on their way to,
right,
I don't know, at Epcot, they're always going to the concerts and they just walk right
right,
through Germany, where the architecture's so great, and right through Italy, and or
that's
back
right.
and
It's my
back of Japan.
favorite park. Yeah,
Yeah, right back. Japan is beautiful in the back. France, all the pavilions are great in the back. And they're just walking right by because they're gonna go to the next. But that's the thing, all the streamers are great. Um, so back to talking about you.
yes,
When you have been at Disney, just talking about because
and
um,
Jen.
in general, what attractions were you able to experience and do, or shows, rides?
I didn't do too many rides, but I think I know I did. God, I can't remember now. I know I went on a couple rides with Pete last year, and I can't remember the names of them. I know we went and did a couple shows. I know we did my first time there, the first year, the, um, oh God, can't think of the name of it. the car show.
In
From the
Hollywood
movie.
Studios.
No, yeah, from the movie. The
Oh,
car.
the Lightning McQueen.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, yeah, that's a fun show. Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah,
did that. I did that a couple times, and of course
I did it. Yeah,
that was a cute show. That's
I
of
know.
course
I think I
that's
went on
been
to Thunder. I think I did. I think I did a couple of the big roller coaster rides, and I was with Baker, and I think it was like Thunder Mountain. I think it was, or Space Mountain. I can't remember which one it was. It was one of those. Like, and I can't do those anymore.
no. I did.
I can't.
I know. It's been many years for since I went on Space Mountain, but Big Thunder.
Big
That's
Thunder.
still been a lot of years. Big Thunder. I the last time I went on there, um, I rode it. I closed my eyes probably 80% of the ride. I do not do fast rides. But did you see any of the nighttime shows, the Happily Ever After
Yeah, well,
fireworks?
my first year there, I didn't couldn't get the chance to do it last year, but I did it the year before. I was able to see the candlelight procession. That was
Oh,
great.
okay.
I see, Neil
Yeah.
Patrick Harris, and that was fun. I did that with
Okay.
Pete and Jen and Jen's mom, and we went to dinner prior to that, which was really very nice. And that was very memorable. That was fun. And then afterwards, I think we just met um, somewhere in Epcot where a lot of people, a lot of streamers came just because Pete, they knew Pete was going to be there. So they came to meet Pete. And I got to meet Walter and Melissa for the first time in person. And that was great. And I got to meet a whole lot of people. And I think I met VP, Ventures of, and I met Gonzo. I think I met Gonzo. I know I met Gonzo at Pete's meetup in August in his
Okay.
hometown. Um, but I met quite a few people in the parks, and that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun, and I think that's what I enjoyed. It wasn't
Yeah.
about the rights; it was about meeting the people, meeting streamers, meeting people that are in the chats that that you see the names all the time, but you never actually met them.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And that's what happened at the Night of Hope last year. I had all these people. They knew who I was, and all these people are coming up to me,
Yeah, I
and
had that. I had
I'm
that.
like,
Yeah.
I go, hi,
Hi,
who are
and you
you?
are?
And
And
you
you,
and you are, because they don't see it because they're not in streams, so
yeah.
you don't really know what but they all know who I am. So that was kind of fun. It's like,
Yeah.
hi, yeah, who are
Hi,
you?
yes, it's cool. So great to meet you, and whoever you are, it's so great. Yeah, yeah, that was the funny, but wonderful thing is that once you find out who they are, it's like, oh yeah,
Exactly.
I see your name all the time. We say hi all the time in
I know.
all the channels, and yeah,
And then
because
you start having these nice conversations with each other, and it's like you never. It's like you've always known each other, you know.
right. Speaking of seeing people in chat, I do want to say hello to T-Town Mary Ellen. Hello, Mary Ellen.
Hi,
Welcome
Mary Ellen.
in. Let me double check the chat.
I think that. Oh,
Stephanie Keel. Hello, how are you?
Stephanie Keel, what are you doing? You need to get ready for your your big moment.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for popping in. Mark F,
Hi,
welcome in.
Mark F.
Welcome in. Great to have you in. Um, oh, I gotta highlight this. Kelsey said, I knew exactly who Debbie was when I met her. A queen.
Aw, thank you, Kelsey. Kelsey's going to be my Uber driver in August.
Oh, great. Okay.
She's going to be my Uber driver.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And then Dawn, Hitchhiking Bones.
Yes, and I met
Welcome.
Dawn last year. That was absolutely wonderful. Her and and I think Tina McNeil.
Yeah, Tina was there, and Mark F is saying hi to Jonathan, but said making the rounds tonight from Mouse Talk to Dean, later to Dad's builds, and Debbie, you know how that is when like there's multiple channels live, and it's like,
You need
well,
to
I'll
go from
pop in here for a
yeah,
little bit, and then someone you get the notification someone else is live, and
right.
then so you do the rounds. I know exactly how that is, Mark. But thanks for popping in here. Thanks for popping in here. Um, Curtis family, Chris says, Mama D officially adopted me. I feel privileged.
That's true. I
Awesome,
did.
awesome,
I did. I officially adopted Chris. He's my adopted son.
awesome. Let's see here. So you've mentioned, you love Disney for, a long time.
Right.
Let's talk about who's your favorite, or which is your one of your maybe one or two of your top favorite of like the Disney classic the movies like uh
Well, I was brought up on, I was, I was brought up on Cinderella and Snow White, and I was, those are my one of my favorites. Um, but then in future or past, years past, I also like Lion King. Lion King happens to be I know a lot of people don't may not like Lion King, but I love Lion King. Lion King just encompasses so much. I mean, just the scenery and how they do the voices. I mean, I like the live action, but I also love the cartoon, the animated one. You know, but yeah, I mean, I grew up on the old shows of Disney movies. Classics of Cinderella and Snow White and um uh what's the other ones? Can't even think. My mind's not working today.
Sleeping
Sleeping
Beauty,
Beauty, thank you. Sleeping Beauty, yep.
Peter Pan,
Japan, yep, yep,
Mary
yep.
Poppins maybe.
Oh, Mary Poppins, yes. Oh my God, I love the Mary Poppins. Yeah, so my mom played all those movies when I was
Yeah,
younger. You know, those are the popular movies. At my age group.
yeah. I
Pinocchio, yes, definitely.
Pinocchio, yeah. um Trying to think. Bambi is one of my favorites.
Bambi,
Dumbo.
Dumbo. Dumbo is like I kind of iffy about
Yeah,
Dumbo.
the pink elephant scene I think is what throws a lot of people off. I don't know, but um yeah, the Jungle
But yeah,
Books.
the Jungle Book, yes, done Jungle Book. I think Jungle Book came a little bit later.
Yeah, the Jungle Book was the last of the animated films that Walt Disney actually had a part in making. After that, whatever else came after that was, post Walt Disney.
Yeah.
So that's the
What I loved about those movies, as much as I loved the action and all this stuff, I guess I was looking at it differently than probably most people. But I looked at the way of how they made those movies. I was always interested in in how they make movies. I did
yeah,
film studying when I was in high school. When I was in high school, God, I did film studying when I was in high school, and learning how they make the movies, how the cartoons, how they created the cartoons. Because I always, loved cartooning, and I always wanted to know how they went about doing it. And I would just like when I was like watch movies, I'm like, okay, how are they doing this? Especially now today with the AI system. I maybe yes,
yeah,
maybe no. I mean, it depends on how they utilize it. But yeah, I fell in love with that part.
Yeah, I've always enjoyed watching like behind the scenes. If I
Right.
watch something behind the scenes, it's great. You know how they do the
Yes,
animation,
Alice
how
in
they do
Wonderland.
the voices. Alice in Wonderland. Yeah. Cherie, good night. I hope you feel better soon. I know I've seen
Yeah,
you posting about some of your
yeah,
what you're dealing with this week. So prayers for you, Cherie.
yeah.
Thanks for popping in. I also saw
Very good.
Dave Straken popped in. Hello,
They
Dave.
love-
Um, so with the with the Disney classics, you know, I would always, whenever I see some kind of a behind the scenes thing, but I also got into that. They did a lot of behind the scenes with the Star Wars films,
Yeah,
which I really enjoyed, and they did a whole lot of uh, documentaries about the behind the scenes and how that came to be and how they produced that. And I was just as much as I loved the movies. It was
right,
great to see. Okay, how did they do? How did they?
right. That's what I fell in love with. That's it. You know, when I was younger, when I was in high school, I wrote a paper on how they made the movie. I know it's not Disney, but how they made the movie A Wizard of Oz.
Oh yeah,
You know, all the different actors and actresses that they went through. The ones that they had weren't the original ones that they had at first. At first, so
yeah, that was really interesting. I've seen little bits. I don't think I've seen like a full documentary, but I have seen some little clips about that of course now with Instagram and
mhm,
Facebook and YouTube too, but you get all these accounts where they have these little clips about how something came to be, a movie or
right,
some a musician and all that. So this is
mhm,
really kind of you enjoy the magic of the show,
right.
but then you're like,
But
okay,
how did
how
they
did
create it? How did that
how did
created?
yeah, where did
Yeah,
it come from? How did it get here? So yeah, there's a lot. There's just a lot.
yeah,
It's just really a lot of fun to find that out.
yeah, yeah. And then I also like history. This is why my favorite park is Epcot because I love the history. But I don't. Epcot is not the way it was when it originally started,
Not it is it
and
is
I wish they'd bring it back. They had more of the history of the different countries. They took that away. They don't have that anymore.
yeah. You still kind of get a sense of maybe like culture, but history, not maybe really not so much
Right.
anymore. And even like the section in the front, all the rides in the front,
Hmm.
they've changed those, so they don't really have, that the edutainment,
Right.
what they had. I mean, they might be fun attractions, but Epcot they've really switched it from the history and the
Right. Right.
it has changed.
Because that's what made me fall in love with Epcot. You know, I mean, I like Magic Kingdom, and it's wonderful and it's great. And Main Street, there's a lot of history there, but there was something special about Epcot. You know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All the parks for me have a special, kind of a meaning and
right.
feeling. But
Right. Right.
Epcot, Epcot is us up at the top, and I think it is because of the World Showcase specifically. And even though it's different than it was, it's still walking through the countries. You still get feel like you're in
Right.
that country,
That's right. Yes.
and that's the music they play throughout in the walking through the all the parks anywhere.
Right.
The music is
And the food too. I do like that part where they do showcase the different foods from the different countries. that I enjoy. You know, I never been to Food and Wine or any of those. So eventually, I would like to, you know, get my annual pass and be able to go to, you know, all the different, you know, events that they have. You know, the Food and Wine and uh, the
Flower and Garden,
gardens. Yeah.
Festival of the
That's
Holidays.
right. I've been there for the holidays where I experienced that. That's wonderful during the Christmas, during December. I'm able to experience that, and that I really truly appreciate and love. But I like to experience the others, you know, eventually.
Yeah, I say there's something that I'd have to say. eh, I personally, I'm not that crazy about Food and Wine. I'm not sure what they do at Food and Wine that's unique from the other ones because they have food booths at all the festivals.
That's
They
true.
sell drinks at all the festivals. They do a concert series, of some sort at all the festivals. So I really think Disney, if you're watching, you need to rename Food and Wine so there's something, unique there. My favorites is the Flower and Garden.
Gone.
I do love the
Yes,
topiaries.
yes.
And they have the butterfly walkthrough over there next to Imagination. Um, but yeah. So as you've lived in Florida,
Hmm.
have you been able to see any other like points of interest, any other state parks or things like that,
Not so much, but Fort Lauderdale, especially downtown Fort Lauderdale. It's it depends on the time of the year you go downtown Fort Lauderdale, but downtown Fort Lauderdale is great because it has the performing arts. I've been there, you know, a few times to the performing arts and see a few plays that my friends have taken me to. Um, so it's big. I mean, I don't really do really much, but even just locally, there's some nice parks where you just go walking around and you want to take a nice, good walk. You know, there's a lot of good parks here that you can walk around. There's a lot of shopping. Uh, I think they're going towards more of the open door shopping centers instead of the closed in malls. Although they
mm,
do have the big famous mall that Jennifer Caruso goes to, the Sawgrass Mall. Um,
okay.
but that's a huge, that's like a city within a city. If you want to do a whole lot of walking, go to that mall.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
Because it
If I
has indoors and outdoors.
Oh
So
wow.
it's huge. I went there a couple months ago. I haven't been there in a long time, and I went there a couple months ago, and it's huge. It's a lot of walking in that part in that mall, but they're going towards. At least I'm finding they're going towards more of the outdoor shopping centers, where they're making the not just regular sidewalks, but they're making more of an architectural
Okay.
parks. Shopping centers. It's not just like the shops. The floor the ground is like uh, bricks or you know
So like maybe like a water feature or a
right, yeah, I mean they're
benches or
making
something
they're
like that.
making malls like England, the shopping centers that they have in England, that the walkways are brick or they are stone. They make it more pleasing, making more, more beautiful than just walking around in just the regular sidewalks and in the shops. They're making more exclusive shops and restaurants, like unique restaurants, not just like regular restaurants, but unique places. I went downtown Fort Lauderdale also a couple months ago, and yeah, definitely. Um, the unique restaurants. You don't have like your typical everyday, just regular restaurants. You have unique foods. They have cultural foods, especially downtown Fort Lauderdale. You have you have your Spanish, you have your Italians, you have your French, you have it all downtown Fort Lauderdale. So if anyone who's come down to Fort Lauderdale, that's the place to go, is go downtown, because you'll experience a uh, cultural shock, I guess.
Okay, cool. Um, let me see what else. Oh, Dave's Disney Dreams, welcome in. Hello,
Hello,
Dave.
my
Welcome
dear
in.
Dave.
Hope you are doing well, Dave, tonight. Um, I'm trying to think. Oh, one thing. I don't know if you will be able to answer this off the cuff, but we off the off the cuff, but um, you're in the YouTube community and you're involved, and you're a moderator for several channels. Would you happen to know off the top of your head how many channels you moderate for?
I couldn't even tell you. I
Okay,
know probably at least 10. At
at least
least
10.
10. Yeah, could be more than that, but at least 10.
Okay. Yeah, I was kind of curious. Didn't know if I was going to try to ask you that off the stream or while you were live, but yeah, Debbie's around everywhere. If you watch any of the channels around, you're probably going to see Debbie in chat with any of the channels. So let me see what else I can ask you. Is there anything I haven't asked you that maybe you
No, no. I mean, I eventually I like to probably sometime maybe next year. I'm hoping that I maybe start my own channel,
okay?
and it's probably based on, at least in part, of how movies are made, like we were talking about.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I want to do that. Uh,
Well, that'll be fun. That'll be a lot of fun. Definitely, I would enjoy checking that out when that comes. Debbie, you are frozen right now, actually. Let me scroll up. Let me see. I don't know, Debbie. You can hear me. You are frozen right now, right after that answer. Uh, see if I missed anybody popping in. So yeah, I'm not sure, guys. Is Debbie frozen on everyone's end? I'm not sure. Oh, okay. Well, there's Debbie. So we'll hang out for a few minutes, see if she's able to come back in. Yeah, Debbie definitely froze up and she dropped out. But yeah, we'll see if she's able to come back in for a few minutes. Had a great chat with Debbie tonight. Um, while we're looking at that, let me take a sip of water. As I mentioned, Saturday is coming up Saturday, which is the 28th. I will be having Tina Marie on of Team Marie's Place, and I'm pretty sure that stream is going to be at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So that will be Tina was going to Tina Marie was going to be on tonight, and then she had to reschedule. Tomorrow, I am looking to get down to Disney finally. My eyes have been kind of bothering. Um, check. My eyes have been kind of bothering me last few weeks, and they have improved. significantly. They're not perfect, but they are doing better uh, than they were. And so I'm going to get down there at least for a few hours to Magic Kingdom, and I'm going to be streaming in the Liberty Bell area, the Liberty Square, and hold on one second. Let me see if. Okay. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, that area is going to be closing and very soon, and I want to make sure to go enjoy that, and specifically just spend some time looking at views of Tom Sawyer Island. I'm not, because of my neuropathy issues, I'm not going to be able to take the rafts over to Tom Sawyer Island, but I'm definitely going to be, looking at some views across the water, across the way. We will go on the Liberty Bell, and I'll stand somewhere on the water. We'll watch it go by. I'll watch it come back, by the haunted mansion. And so that stream's going to be at 10:30 tomorrow morning. And if for some reason I don't make it, I'm not feeling well in the morning, I'm going to try again Thursday and then try again Friday. So just kind of make that a mental note. But I'm looking at tomorrow. I'm being down there. Summer of Friends. Of course, I was chatting with Debbie Bernfeld today. I don't know if she'll come back, but last week I had a double show with Cherie, Surfer Girl, 326. And I chatted with her. She was rescheduled from the previous week. And then I also chatted on a separate show. I chatted with Heather and Emmy, the Adventure Leaves, last week as well. And then on the first installment of the series, I chatted with Zippity Doo Dog to kick off the show. And I have so many, several more folks that I am looking forward to having on the show, on the stream for a summer of friends. So I hope you will make sure to come back to the channel in the coming weeks and hear those interviews. Um, I'm checking my text, see if Debbie has texted me. I don't have any texts. I know that uh, it's probably some kind of a technical issue. I don't know if it's storming down there where she is at all, or just an internet glitch at all. But I will say I enjoyed the chat, very much enjoyed getting chatting with Debbie a lot, and I do want to thank Debbie for popping in with Tina Marie rescheduling. Of course, I reached out to Debbie Bernfield as a backup person um, for the show, and so I do appreciate Debbie agreeing to come on the short notice that I had given her. But I am expecting to have Debbie back on in October for my series. I'm calling it Friendtober. It's going to be a much shorter series, and I'm going to have just the 4 Tuesdays in October that I will be having people on. So anyway, guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the stream. Um, I'm not seeing anything from Debbie, so I'm hoping she's okay. I will reach out to her in a little bit here, just to make sure she's okay. I'm sure it's just like an internet glitch. So thanks to Debbie. Thanks again to Debbie for coming in here, being on the stream. I'm sorry you exited prematurely, but thank you all for watching, all of you in the live chat who have been here, all of my new friends that I've seen in here that I haven't seen before. It was great having you. And again, all of you on the replay, let me know in the comments below that you were watching, and I will definitely respond to you. I think okay. I got a text. Debbie's internet went down. All right, no worries. So anyway, with that, guys, my friends at the Hitchhiking Bones are actually going live right about now for Hitchhiker Chat. So if you are looking for another something to watch, go ahead and head over there. Tell Dawn and Will that Dean said gobble gobble. So anyway, with that, guys, take care. Have a gobbletastic night, and I'll see you next time.